Okay, before we dive in, big shout out and thank you to Sword Coast Soundscapes for your incredible soundscapes. I'm getting better at this. If you do not support him, you should finally find him and support him on Patreon. He does an incredible job, and we listen to his BGM and sound effects every game, and they're always incredible. Next, Crafty Gamer Shop. They're wonderful people. They are growing, they're booming, they're expanding, and we're super happy for them here because they've treated us wonderfully. We currently have the Forests of the Fae candle burning right now, and gentlemen, it smells like the Fae.
It smells like the forest.
Of the Fae.
In the Fae.
Absolutely.
Wild.
Those things. In other words, it smells delightful. So, find them online. Crafty Gamer Shop. Gifts for the nerdier ones in your life. Anyway, I think that's it in terms of what I have to say. Now let's dive in with a story suiting the music that is currently playing. Well done. Last time, you all recovered in the Cloakwood and spent a little bit of time searching around the ruined home of the Forest Walker clan, exploring the region, moving through the ruins, having some discussions over the construction of the tree homes in which the Forest Walkers resided, learning of the exact nature of the protection spell that surrounded the Cloakwood in its entirety, informing Dathana of the break in the glyph that mayhaps had caused the demonic incursion and attracted the demons to the location, to her chagrin.
It was definitely that.
And resting for an evening, wary that your friend, ally, and ancient silver dragon companion, Atari, had not yet returned from her scouting mission. A bit perturbed by this news, Boris decided to stay the night out, risking exhaustion to await Atari's return, ultimately not having her return, but noticing that every hour on the hour, the Drakhorn would sound in pulsing beats to what he surmised to be messages, ringing across the Sword Coast in varying volume and frequency and tone. As morning approached, a figure flanked by 3 others of similar size, plummeted from the sky. 3 peeling away, 1 continuing their descent. With Boris and Dathana Forest Walker leaping into action, they stopped the catapulting descent of Atari in her draconic form, covered in scars, gashes, and gaping wounds. She transformed into her human visage before being caught by a feather fall from Dathana, and was hastily brought inside Fleetfoot's magnificent mansion, where her wounds were tended to after you all recognized some sort of strange infernal infection that was eating away at her and preventing any sort of definitive healing and blocking your ability to treat those wounds. Once the infection was removed, she was able to return to consciousness, albeit briefly, to inform you all that there had been an incursion, an attack on her in surprise from 3 dragons, one of which was an ancient red. Bonus points to whoever remembers the name.
Thraxata.
Yes, indeed. Thraxata. An ancient red Thraxata.
So, does that mean I'm level like 20 now?
You can get an inspiration.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
There's some DM inspiration for you.
I'll take it.
I didn't die. You get inspiration.
Those seem equal, yeah. Level 20, inspiration, yeah.
I think so. Thraxata. His name being uttered, a ripple flowing throughout the bow of Falxion the Great Protector. Falx informing you, Tiberon, that Thraxata was an ancient red dragon whom he had tangled with before and bested many times, and Thraxata, seeking to empower himself, continually found ancient ways to modify his form. You all rushed through the ever-changing landscape of the Cloakwood as the demonic magic began to seep out of its locale and emerged into an open area of blasted trees, gnarled and torn dirt and mud.
Pretty compact.
I mean, if it's compact, imagine all the dead trees around you. And feeling a strange presence, Tiburon and Fleetfoot began the process of taunting who they assumed to be Thraxata. Boris found himself placed in a treetop, and Balasar, extending his wings, began flying around observing the area. Boris, after speaking with his sword Hazaron for a time, came to the conclusion that this entity was not on the immediate plane of existence, and attempted to coax him out through force as opposed to word, leapt from his tree, holding Hazaron downward, plummeting towards the ground and finding himself lodged in the back spine of Thraxata as his form flickers and shimmers as if the drop of a pebble into a pool of clear water, his form emerging. Snarling, looking over his back, Boris leaves a dragon's tooth on Hazaron and slid, landing on the ground in a very rough and tumble three-point landing, just falling to his elbow and picking himself up, looking at the massive form above him.
From the explosion that's about to happen.
Can I have inspiration just by watching him do that?
Seriously, going the other way.
I mean, you feel real excited.
I'm like inspired.
Like, and you're really not sure who looked more surprised, the dragon or Boris, about the whole damn thing happening.
So, that is where we pick up where we left off. Boris, landing on the ground and beginning to sprint the opposite direction.
Did you do damage?
I don't know. I have not rolled the damage yet.
Okay, so what I do need you to do is roll damage with Hazaron.
Okie dokie, because I left him on his back.
You did leave Hazaron embedded in Thraxata's back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is 2d6 plus 2d6?
2d6 plus 2d6. So give me both of those d6 in succession, please.
Did I critical with this? That's cool.
I think you rolled just enough to hit him, actually.
11.
Yeah, you rolled a
17,
23.
20 plus 7, 27 with Hazaron.
27, so what was the necrotic rolls on that?
I don't. Shit. 2 of the d6.
We can have it and say that it was 10 necrotic if you'd like.
Okay, it's either 9 or 11, so yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, so we'll do that. So you stab in and begin immediately rolling back. Okay, so that'd be... Oh, shit. I've never knew I'd have to write that big of a number. Okay, and you land on the ground, begin running away. Okay, initiative rolls from everybody.
I like to
Does
hear.
the grenade go bang yet?
It will in just a moment.
I had an arrow knocked.
Yeah, you did. It's 100% true.
That's an awesome initiative roll. Shit.
25 to 20.
Nope.
I rolled well too.
20 to 15.
Still no.
15 to 10.
14.
I got a 12.
Okay.
Got a 14.
That means I rolled a 2.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jesus.
I rolled a 9.
14. Boris. Oh, I should roll for Fleetfoot, shouldn't I?
Boris was
Fleetfoot
shocked
rolled really
that
well.
worked.
I'm gonna move this up here.
Sorry,
can have
Fleetfoot's
a
player.
level.
I'm going to have you.
Rolling tray. It's not level here.
Did you try those?
Not yet.
They're delish. I've already had 2. I'm
I
thinking
may have
about
had-
a
Trust me,
third.
they're staring me down.
I'm thinking about a third.
Oh, I've had 3. Don't feel ashamed. I've had 3 of
But
those.
you can also eat like a whole cow and
That's not true. I could try. What is his dexterity modifier? Holy shit!
fleets.
Fleetfoot rolled a 17 naturally, plus 6 initiative for a 23.
Well, because he gets jack of all trades into his initiative.
Yes, he does. So it'd
Yes.
normally be a plus 4.
Yeah.
Boris, you had a 12. Balasar. What was your number there?
6.
Ah, gotcha.
You see, I rolled a 3.
More of those.
Plus a 3.
Yep.
Oh, neat.
Yep.
Okay. So, top of the round, Fleetfoot will be going first. Where is our friend Fleetfoot?
He's underneath.
Underneath the dragon.
That is.
dragon.
As Fleetfoot stares up into the
Is
dragon
that where
Oh,
above,
I did not know that.
Fleetfoot stares up into the dragon that's above him. Boris leaping out. I'm gonna give Fleetfoot a bare chance for a perception check because
So-
you leapt out of the tree above him.
Yeah, really, it looked like I was leaping on him until the dragon got there.
It did.
huh?
So he would have a
That's cool.
perception check in the moment with an 18 plus
That's cool.
an absolute shitload. He did happen to notice the grenade you had on you. As you stabbed and the shadow appears over him, you hear Fleetwood go, fuck. And he uses his entire movement to run away. The dragon at this point is going to...
Where do
He's running...
That's 40, but if he's dashing, he can go 40 more, right?
Move his full 40. Yeah, he's gonna move his full 40 to go behind that bush, between those two bushes there. He was actually just out of range of the dragon. Just out of range. And
Dragon's 10 feet, 15 feet?
15 feet over him.
Okay.
Oh no, he's in range, but the dragon's not gonna do anything. He's pretty shocked that he has a fucking sword in his back at this point in time.
He
And
wasn't ready for that little piece.
No, he was. I don't think a lot of entities are ready for Boris, to be fair.
Boris was partly convinced he was just going to land on a very surprised turtle when he did this. To be honest.
Fleetfoot is then going to use his action to... You'll see him remove his spellbook, flip open a couple of pages, pour down it, and then point at a spell. Trace intricate...
Not the time to be reading.
Trace intricate... You see him just look at you, Boris, for a moment, like... Duh.
Even I don't put it out now.
He's trying to concentrate. And at the 7th level, he is going to cast
Oh shit.
Crown of Stars after watching Dathana do it and
He did
being
get that
inspired.
spell.
And you watch, similarly around his head, although a little bit darker and cloaked in shadow, these individual crystals appear around his head. So that's important for me to remember. And then with his bonus action is going to use Crown of Stars to attack the dragon. Sorry, TJ. Okay, roll to hit on this. Right? Natural 20. Okay.
Dragon's dead, right?
Alrighty. He is going to turn with the pent up anger, fire one of these motes of energy at the entity and roll 4d12 damage. And double it.
12, 12, 12.
10, 11 for 22. 10, 4. So 14 plus 22 is 36 times 2 is 72 for his critical hit. And that's 72 points of radiant damage. As a bonus action, he fires one of these, one of his 4 motes of light into the entity. Shit! As it streaks across the sky, this radiant energy strikes into this entity's chest and just, I'm coming for you, mutters to himself with this strange shadowy flame licking from its lips.
Okay, so it's time to be reading.
Fleetfoot looks and says, shit. It is now the dragon's turn. The dragon is going to...
How far did Boris
Oh.
get before he started?
No, you are right. So this would be... It would actually, at initiative count 20, I'd say you made it 25 feet away with the sprint. Good spot to be. So, at initiative count 20, the bomb goes off. The grenade goes off. So that would be 5d6. Piercing damage.
No,
Helen's like-
these are magic ones. They are necrotic damage.
Alan's like, fuck.
What did he say?
I'm like, Alan's like,
15.
fuck, man, this started rough, real rough.
What was that?
15.
15?
Because you did how much damage? Boris did like 20 damage?
27?
Yeah, we've done 90 damage like off the bat. That's pretty good, right?
He looks great. The dragon literally looks great.
No, I know that because
Oh.
he's ancient and he's gargantuan, but like, hey,
It's pretty good.
90 damage.
Is it appears on its back? You watch a couple of scales flake off, but it does not do near the amount of damage that
Oh,
you
yeah.
thought it was going to do as it exploded on its back.
1500.
Yeah, it's still sword there.
I hope not.
I hope.
As it, but you do witness the force kind of move its chest forward, and it kind of
8 would be reasonable.
the wings
Yeah.
flap, and it looks around at you. A morsel.
I'm hoping
He's gonna pick
5.
himself up, and
5, 6.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Alan at the end
Okay.
of the battle.
So at the start of its turn, it's going to use its. I need everybody to please make a wisdom saving throw.
Great.
Son of a bee.
Ooh, 21.
You just make the save.
You said wisdom?
Really?
Yep.
Shit, guys, good luck, because I had to roll really good for that.
Wait, what? What did you just? What? Shit. Well, I rolled a 15.
You're frightened.
I'm
I was
gonna
going to
use
say,
Indomitable.
not even close.
All right.
I rolled a
Say
19.
21.
I said 21.
You're frightened of the
Yeah.
dragon.
So I can't even make it.
The dragon, as it begins its turn, this massive roar rips through the area.
Legendary resistance.
Okay, you are
'Cause I
after
can't make it.
you are first shaken to your core. You again, did you use Indomitable?
I did use one Indomitable.
You
so-
again reach into your energy
But
reserves to
you're
try to
immune
shake
to
the fear.
for the rest of the battle.
Are
Like
you?
Yeah, if you make the
If
save,
you make fear, you can't be frightened
then you can't
again
be frightened again.
from the same creature.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fleetfoot and
Yeah,
Tiburon
look,
are
gecko.
frightened.
yeah.
That's good
As
to
you
know.
tap into the
Yeah.
I'll
ancient
take that
black
then.
mask around you, you feel it pulse into your mind, shrouding and keeping yourself from the fear.
I
Oh.
love how rangers, their spell attack and their DC is based on their
What
wisdom,
the heck was that, you
but they are not
gecko?
proficient in wisdom saving throws.
Convenient.
No
Let's go
sense
60 foot.
at all.
I need another 30 feet. Okay.
Did you say you need another 30 feet?
Oh, look at that.
You can steal that platform if you want to use it. I just need a stand.
I'm printed too, so we can have two.
Oh.
The beauty of 3D printing.
He printed two just so he could kick your ass in the air.
Well, he's about to hit 3 of us. That's really heavy.
All right. So I placed it in the back. So
Yeah.
I need Tiburon, Balasar, and Fleetfoot to all make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Is it a cone? It's a cone, right?
Yep.
You said dexterity saving
I
throws.
did indeed.
Dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20, thank you.
14.
14, thank you. Fleetfoot rolled a 6 plus 4 for a 10. Unfortunately, you all fail. So,
Fuck.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 8. 10, 20.
I needed to roll just a little bit better.
16. Sorry, guys, gotta roll a lot of dice.
That's okay.
It's fine, they have the right to everybody else right now. You roll as many as you want.
8, 16,
Not
24.
that many. No, only 2.
24, 10,
Just 2 at most.
34, and 4 more.
What are you rolling? 20 d6?
26.
26
26
d6?
d6. So that is 10, 16, 17. So now I have to math. 29, 33 is 62, 91, 99 points of fire damage.
So I'm going to use evasion.
Okay.
So that halves it.
It does. So that will go
To-
down to 48.
And I'm going to use a absorb elements as a reaction.
Our
Isn't
friend
that a great
Fleetfoot is.
spell?
Our friend Fleetfoot is. Does he have it?
He does have
We've
absorb
used
elements.
that one to be able to cast shit
Sorry, how much
on
was
himself.
That was 98 points of fire.
91, you
damage.
said.
98 points of fire.
98 points of fire damage, and then halved for you was
48.
48. So it'd be 49. I apologize. So 49 points of fire damage.
Okay,
So one
and then I'm having it again.
more. Okay.
So
that'd
that would be 25.
Yes. He is going to use his first level to absorb elements on this one and have that damage.
To what was that halved?
49.
49, okay.
49
cool.
points of fire
Absorb
damage.
elements.
Balasar was not ready for this.
No.
What did I say? 20,
No.
24, Alan? Right?
Yeah, so 40 now I go down to 24.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are these numbers? Hold on here.
Had I made the save, 0.
Yeah, had you made the save, 0. Evasion's broken, guys. All right.
That's
the
why I
dragon
took it.
I'll take that.
unleashes this massive wave of dark, shadowy fire. What you notice is it is significantly deeper red. Although the singe still hurts like a bitch, it is significantly deeper red than any of you have experienced.
And it was
in
still
the
fire
past.
damage?
Still fire damage.
Okay.
As the
Holy
air,
shit, Book. His
and he-
fire is different color.
as it dissipates, you see a number of the trees begin to ignite and start to burn in the vicinity. So, with that, the dragon, about 20 feet behind you, Balasar.
Nice.
Thank you. It is the dragon's turn, and it's done. Tybron, you're up, my friend.
Which trees are on fire? Just these right
Those
here?
ones that are around
All
you,
of
yes.
them.
Can I run
Potentially
30
hit.
feet, Nick, back towards that that gray tree at the angle?
So.
Wait, which way are you going?
Towards you, closer to you.
Towards me?
Yeah.
It's like your thumb is pointing a completely different direction.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I can still see the dragon. So as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns at the 4th level, and I'm going to throw 2 attacks at him with Sharpshooter.
All right, you got it. Go ahead and roll to hit. Is that natural 20?
The first one's a natural 20.
Good, that hits.
The second one, well, natural 20 minus 5, but it's still natural 20.
Yeah.
So that's a 31. The second one is a 24.
24? 24 will hit.
Perfect. So I'm going to roll the first hit, the natural 20, so I get... It's damaged, right?
It is damaged, yes.
2d8.
It doesn't really look it, but it is damaged.
2d4. And 4d10.
Yep. So
Doubled.
Double that.
I think that's... And the sharpshooter and the modifier are not doubled, correct?
Sharpshooter and the modifier maintain
Okay.
as just as the modifier on top of everything else.
Only die rolls are doubled.
That's what I thought.
So many die rolls.
That's a 1, let's see, 6, 7. 7 plus 9 is 16, and 2 is, oh my god, it's 18.
D&D. Math in a game.
18 and 8 is 26, 27, 28. 31 times 2 is
62?
62 plus 20.
So 82 points of damage. Nice.
Woohoo!
Sharpshooter
82 points
plus
of
the plus 10.
damage. Look at that. Of all knights to roll a natural 20, you and Fleet have had the knights to do
My
it.
first roll, too. And then my second attack is just going to be 1d8 and 2d4.
You got it. So as the first arrow slams into you, you watch it hit a crack within a number of the chest plates, and then these branches extend from within it and try to wrap around it. They expand away, but the damage is done, and you watch some cracks appear in the plate. He still shrugs it off like he's looking just fine, but there are cracks.
That's a 5, 6, 7, 27 points of damage, 2 of which is cold.
Got it. So... Okay. The next arrow slams into its shoulder joint, and you just gotta... And the arrow ting falls, burnt and singed away. Will that be your turn?
That's my action. That's my
And you-
bonus action for the spell. I've moved, so yes.
All right, you got it. Boris, you're up.
What is that thing?
That's a bush.
That's a bush. That's not a rock.
That is a bush.
So that's flammable.
Yes.
Is that a bush behind the tree, or is that actual pillars made of stone and stuff?
Those are actual pillars made of stone and stuff.
Okay. All right. With my bonus action, I'm going to hex this son of a bitch.
It is now hexed as this strange shadowy energy coalesces around it, making it even more intimidating somehow.
Use the
Tyrone, did
hex.
you roll those attacks with disadvantage?
Didn't.
That's okay. We'll remember it next time.
I mean, the first one would have
Was
still hit
Yeah.
because it was a 15.
Yeah. I'm not concerned about it.
Okay, so use hex. My
The second
movement,
one I
I'm going
missed. Did you
to.
want to take the second one away or take the?
Okay, okay.
I mean, cover doesn't really affect me because of the sharpshooter thing, so I could move.
You are correct.
Either
Oh, do I get a
way.
wisdom save at the end of my turn?
Yeah, at the end of your turn, please.
No.
So I'm just going to now take 3 shots with Vera
Okay. You
at
pull
the
up your-
dragon.
The necrotic energy surrounding the entity.
I am not going to use sharpshooter yet. So I got a 14, 13, is 27,
27 will hit.
a 22, and a 21.
22 just hits. A 21 misses.
Okay,
It
so
would have just been 51 points of damage for the first hit, and then the second one I just rolled and I missed it. So
I'll just take off 20. Seems fair. Thank you for being
yeah,
honest.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
No worries, I forgot.
That's on me.
Boris is not frightened.
It's still just me. I
you said
think.
2 of them hit, right?
Yes, 2 of them hit. The first and could you feed me the necrotic damage separately?
Yes, I can.
That sounded weird as it left my mouth.
Our DM likes to get fed things.
Specifically,
So I'm not going to use one of the fun
One at a time.
things because I don't have necrotic for that. But necrotic I got 10 points of, and the other one I got 10 points of, and then another 12. So 22 not 22 piercing, 10 necrotic.
Thank you, sir.
Surprisingly flexible.
And then I'm going to run behind the pillar over here.
And hide, or just kind of duck down.
I am small. I have learned it is good to be behind things when dragons throwing breaths.
Indeed it is. As your shots ring out, you watch the first 2 slam into the dragon's form, and it flaps its wings as the wind itself buffets the bullet away, as it clangs off of the armored wing joints. You notice the necrotic damage take, but not as much as you normally sense it does. At the end of your turn, it's going to use 2 of its legendary actions to make a wing attack at you, Balasar. Could you please make a dexterity saving throw for me?
I'm gonna use my Indomitable real quick.
You got it as the wings. The wind buffeting you and blowing you around, your own ethereal wings almost dissipating in the sheer shadowy energy.
I still fail.
What was the roll?
That's like an 8.
Yeah, unfortunately you do fail. So you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage and you are knocked prone. Since you are 10, 20, 30 feet off the ground, I will say you can fall about 10 feet before making a dexterity saving throw for me, or an acrobatics check, your choice, depending on what you'd like to do.
I failed that too.
So you are
It was
currently
going well.
falling, and you will be falling every turn. And because of your size and weight and the armor you are wearing, you are going to be falling 10 feet around. Okay, so you are now 10 feet further. You are now slamming into the branches of the tree. Because of your acrobatics roll, you are just being buffeted by them. I say you would take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
That seems fair.
Top of the round, it is now Fleetfoot's turn.
I
Fleetfoot.
haven't had a turn yet.
Oh, you're right, Balasar, you haven't. It's your turn. Would you like to catch yourself?
Yeah.
Please do.
Such a cheater. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Balasar.
Right
You're
now.
falling out of the sky. The dragon's. Oh, and he moved too.
So, could I stop falling?
That would be make a dexterity saving throw for me at the top of your turn.
Can I be not following for my action?
And can I start flying another direction?
So if you beat a save of 10 or 12 rather, you
Nope.
can. Oh.
Tonight's TPK will be
So
brought
I
to
would
you
say
by.
if you you use your turn to steady yourself after not making the save immediately, you can steady yourself by the end of your turn. Any attacks or spells you'd like to sling would be a disadvantage.
I guess I'll use my turn as not falling, I guess.
This tree over here.
And we're gonna put this dice away.
Yeah, maybe don't roll that one again. You've fallen 10 feet. You're no longer prone and have caught yourself. Yay, you caught yourself. Okay, so you now have brought your wings under your control and have steadied yourself. You are upright and now have this entity that is kind of, in the time you've been falling, rotated and turned itself now, looking to try to get a better vantage point of the field. That'll be your turn. Sorry, man. That sucks. Top of the round,
What
Fleetfoot.
happens when you roll 3 threes in a row?
Ooh, yeah, that dice goes into dice jail.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Fleetfoot. Fleetfoot is going to be fucking terrified
Have another
and
brownie.
be really.
I mean, there's
really-
only 5 left, and you had a lot.
Good.
I've definitely
I need milk for those.
I've definitely had 3.
They're so good, bro.
He is
I'll
going
take one
to.
home too there, but I'll have to count that milk.
Fleetfoot is going to take a look at the sword he is holding. That is the. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He's going to take a look at the sword he's holding and
Such a
using
good plan.
it.
It's gonna be over quick.
Looking away. Yeah, he's actually in range. Is going
Not in our
to
favor.
strum awkwardly on the massive sword-like lute a strangely resonant chord and cast fairy fire at the dragon. And let's see if the dragon makes the dex save. That's cocked. That is a natural 20, so it does make the save. Unfortunately, that is not successful. And he is then going to run behind that tree, please, the big one that is not on fire, closer to you, Tybron.
The fake.
Yeah, that one. That, and use
Behind that way or behind towards Nick.
that way towards Nick.
Nope.
There we go. Around.
There
There we
we
go.
go.
That'll be the end of his movement there. And he's
So
gonna-
the dragon got a natural 20 on its save?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He is then going to cast Healing Word on himself at the 3rd level. 3, 4 plus 5. Because he got a fuckload taken out of him. It's 8 plus 5 for 12. And that will be his turn. It is now top so at the initiative count 20, you all would hear and feel this massive of the what you all would now understand as the drag
you say
horn
that?
sounding off in a variety of tones and intonations.
Oh. Is all of your damage necrotic?
No,
Oh.
only 1d6.
Oh.
Very little of the necrotic damage I did got through to him. Like Boris is clipping his toenails at
Oh.
most during this.
The dragon is then going to see, it is now the dragon's turn after you all hear at initiative count 20 the resonant wail of the Drakhorn. See if he gets his breath weapon back. He does not. He is going to survey the field, unable to, at this point, see. Well, what's his passive? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I can see everything. What's closest to it? It's going to fly around and stay 15 feet above you, Balasar. Rotate this way.
I'll keep out.
And wail on you.
Okay.
First is the bite attack, which let's go ahead and roll and see if it hits. That is a 32 to hit.
Let me double check. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, got it. Cool. Just wanted to double check.
Jesus.
Where's my D10? Here it is. You take 16 points of piercing damage and 10 points of fire damage as the claws clamp down on your plate mail and you feel them kind of rake through the mail armor itself. It is then going to pull back and take 2 attacks with its claws at you. The first attack is a 19 to hit. He rolled a 2. Second one's a natural 20.
Did you say you rolled a 2?
Yeah. And it was a 19 to hit. I am going to take photos of my natural 20s, so there are no...
Nope. Roll it.
Alan's
All right.
cheating, guys.
You take...
No, I mean, you can't not hit us.
You're right.
The 2 is a 19.
6 for 12. 12 plus 10 is 22 points of slashing damage, and I need you to please make a Constitution saving throw. You succeed and take 3 points of necrotic damage. As this claw slices into you, and you feel this strange bit of creeping decay touch your body before you...
I
and
am
you're
now
able
too.
to dispel whatever toxin was entering your form in the creeping
Active
variety.
resilience.
All right.
Take on.
It is now Tiberon's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how, but it's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna run behind the creepy tree.
Yeah, he is.
You're going to run behind the creepy tree?
Nope, that's TJ.
I'm in front of this one here.
There you go. Yep. Our map is so fucking amazing.
I'll
now we
stop
can't
on
even
this
find
side
our own
first,
themselves.
and then take a shot, and then I'll go behind afterwards. So I'm gonna cast.
How you feeling, Nick?
About half dead.
Good.
Hunter's Mark on him,
All right, he is so marked.
and
so
I'm
I'm going to put
A little
2.
more than half.
going to attack him 2 times.
Vira's not working.
I've done nothing so far, so.
Vira's not working.
That's what I was looking for. Damn.
I'm gonna attack
Oh,
him
yeah, he's
twice
hexed.
You got him.
with sharpshooter. Still with
Okay.
disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh wait, I can't run that way because that's technically closer to him. I'd have to run this
You'd
way.
have to run away.
It's pretty diagonal.
Well, actually, if you're running parallel, that's
Okay.
technically not
Okay.
to him.
Cool. So first attack with disadvantage
I am a kind and giving god.
is.
That's a joke, listeners.
And that arc is technically still further away.
22, yeah. 22 minus 5 is 17. That probably misses.
17 does miss. You're correct.
Second one is the same thing.
Okay, unfortunately, both of those attacks miss. The fear just kind of entering your very being is preventing
Oh,
you from
wait.
getting it. You will have advantage on the saving throws because he's a dragon.
Fairy fire.
Did not happen.
Oh, that's
He
right.
made
I'm
the
sorry.
save. Natural
You're
20
right.
on his save. I've rolled
Here.
3 natural 20s tonight, guys. My dice are with me.
Yeah, I'll go behind the tree now.
My dice are very much with me tonight. To be fair, so I've rolled 3 natural 20s. One of them has been for you,
That's true.
for Crown of Stars, which I need to use. That'll be your turn, Tiberon?
Hunter's Mark, and then I will use my Wisdom saving throw.
With advantage, it's against a dragon.
Does it still get advantage?
I believe so.
I don't. The
It doesn't say it does?
No,
Oh,
it's
cool.
it's survival and intelligence checks.
Gotcha. That
But
is-
I rolled a 22.
You are no longer frightened.
Fuck you, dragon.
As you're able to duck behind the... By the way, Fleetfoot isn't either. He rolled a 19 plus 3 for a save, so he's not frightened anymore
I
either.
have a +3 too.
As you duck behind the tree, but you both look at each other in the moment and go, we got this. This is okay. And you feel this calm and soothing energy coming from Fox.
Big red force. This is not okay. This is not working out well for us.
Also, is your sword still in his back?
Yes.
You guys don't know.
That is where it was last seen.
That is where it was last known location. Next up is you, Boris.
Great. So, shit. I knew this day would come. Vira's not working. Okay. Using my movement and my action as my movement
Okay.
and my acrobatics check. Can
Okay.
I run up tree and jump off tree and say that I have been riding many dragons for very
many days now. I should be advantage on holding on to dragon if I can catch its tail and climb up its back.
So I would say give me the acrobatics check, and then in order to grab and hold on to, I will give you an advantage on the perception check on where to grab, so that you might not injure yourself because it is a new draconic form
16
of red dragons.
plus 26 for acrobatics.
You see Boris dart out from behind this ruined pillar, dash up a tree, and a 3-point. You're like, I thought he was he's a monk. And you see him dash up the tree and jump over using all of his movement to dash. And I need a really quick perception check with advantage on where to grab, given you have studied draconic anatomy. You just have not. You just have not seen this.
Everybody
particular
Boris
dragon.
throws his whole equilibrium off and he dies. 17 plus 4, 21 perception.
21. You're able to look. This is different than any dragon you've seen before, but looking at the tail, between the tail spikes, you see the tiny intersection of where there is it's littered with spikes and handholds. You're able to barely make out Hazaron glinting between the wing blades as it's kind of, you see it slowly eking its way out of the back as the muscles tense in flight, and you're able to grab onto a spine, and just for now, you are held on.
All right, so he's screaming shit the entire time. It's just shit. Okay.
Fuck me. He cleared it.
He cleared it.
What the fuck did I just see?
Fleetfoot, I don't know.
I'll never get used to that.
How far away is Hazaron from me right now?
Hazaron at this point,
Yep.
where you're at the base of the tail, Hazaron's a solid 8.5, 9 feet up the tail spikes, which are sharp and jagged and look like they would certainly castrate you.
Action surge.
Okay.
And I am getting my ass to that sword.
Okay. How would you like to do that?
I still have. I have my.
You can use your action as a more
I have a
movement.
bonus action and an action, right?
Yeah, you do.
Still. So I just, whichever movement
So
one I can
I'd say you would use your action to move, and it'd be an athletics check.
Okie dokie.
Because you are straight strength trying to climb.
It's 19.
19. Okay, I will say with that roll, you're able to pick and choose and perilously make your way between the spikes. You do get caught a couple of times. You take 2 points of slashing damage as you make your way up and kind of get slashed by the really sharp spikes and spines up the back. You notice that as you cut them, there's this strange shadowy energy seeping from the entity, not entirely coming from Hazaron. And make your way up to just, with your last bit of movement, grab onto the blade between its shoulder blades, and it's just this massive hulking entity.
With my bonus action, holding on to sword and dragon. All right, sword, I got you. I am here. How are we going to do this?
The sword, and the time it has. He's quite tasty. Shall we stab him again?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Boris is now perched perilously on top of the dragon. The dragon, feeling all of this, is going to use 2 legendary actions to use a wing attack. Balasar, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. That's the end of your turn, Boris? I'm
That's
assuming?
all I've got, and I'm holding on for dear life at
Yeah,
this point
you
in time.
are.
17.
I figure that's
17.
kind of like the spot in your back that you can't.
You
quite
can't
get
really
to,
reach. It's right between the
so,
wings.
yeah.
You hit him really well.
Yeah.
You fail. So you take
God damn it. I can't do anything right.
you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage and are falling prone once again down the ground. So I need
You are
you
doing
to.
a great job keeping distractions.
And then, as part of the reaction, he's going to essentially use his 30 feet of movement to turn and twist upside down to try to force you off of him, Boris. Actually, it's half of his.
I
half
should
of his
totally have
movement.
advantage on this because that is literally what I was doing with
I will.
Atari.
It absolutely is. I will give you advantage on your athletics check to maintain hold.
Athletics? Okie dokie. Oh, thank God. 26.
You are able to barely maintain a hold as he is twisting and rising through the air. Landing here.
Can you leave me alone, please?
Oh, fuck me!
Not you, the
Context,
dragon.
there's Boris.
Yeehaw. Yippee-ki-yay.
This will have been more fun after I'm looking back on it.
Okay. Balasar, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw as you plummet another 10 feet to the ground to see if you're able to right yourself. Or continue falling for your turn.
What kind of check?
Can you dexterity saving throw? Can you-
21.
Okay, you are able to right yourself, your wings flapping behind you. Guys, how about these cool plates?
How about?
All right.
So I'm going to move
So Balasar, that is your turn now.
Hey, I thought I lost.
You're ready to go.
5, 10, 15, 20,
There we go.
25-ish. And I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt at the dragon.
All right. What is the save on that?
It's a 16.
Dexterity?
Yep.
He rolled a 3. He's going to use a legendary resistance to make the save. 3 plus 7 for 10.
Be quiet.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
So he's used
Great.
those-
Now advertisements for whatever we were.
Yeah, right? That's a nice little streak of lightning you got there.
35.
I'd also say, Boris, since the lightning is arcing through this dragon at this point, could you also make a dexterity save? It's in a line.
Yeah.
Oh, is he casting lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then it would hit force. Dexterity save, huh?
Yep.
Okay. 15.
15? Okay, thank you. What was the damage?
35.
35 halved to 17. 301. Okay. And 35, what's your DC?
That's 16.
16. So you unfortunately fail to save, and you take 35 points of lightning damage, Boris.
Funny
all this-
enough, that is the most I've taken from anybody since
ever,
Force
and
has
it's
been
from
created.
your own
So-
allies.
You're welcome.
You
That's
took
all right.
4 points. You took 2 points of slashing damage, climbing up its back, and now get hit with lightning. All of a sudden, you smell this strange sort of burning ozone, and it arcs through the draconic. Insect. You don't know who he's referring to. Is it you, Boris, or is it Balasar? You're not sure.
I'm then going to action surge.
Okay.
And end up right about here.
All right. Okay.
And go ahead and attack.
All right. You got it. Your 3 attacks, 4 attacks,
It's 4 total.
4 total. Got it.
Did you even know I was here?
No! I don't know if I knew.
That hurt, you son of a bitch.
25.
You hear from the back of the dragon as you're swinging.
That's going to be 25.
25 will hit. Damage, please.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Thank you much.
31.
31 will hit, yeah.
Almost crit.
Yeah. You're super close, man.
$19 points of damage.
19 points of damage on the second hit. Nice.
24.
24 will hit, yes.
$22.
22 points of damage. Okay.
And I miss.
What was the last one? The first strike.
I don't think a 14.
As the lightning is arcing across the blade's form, you hear from behind you Boris shouting, "You hit me, you bitch!" As it is, you slice through. On the last strike, you notice that you are just barely missing. Yeah, you have a couple more over there if you want to use them.
I don't know how to awkwardly put myself
Oh,
right here.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, at the end of your turn, it is
Excuse
going
me,
to-
there's only room for one person on this back here.
It is going to rotate over its body, not leaving your melee range, and smack you with the tail. Rotating as it rotates, Boris, I need another dexterity save with athletics check with advantage.
Ah, fuck. All these dragons in my way.
I just rolled a 20 on accident.
It's really high. It's 27.
You are able to maintain a hold. That is a 28 to hit with the tail, Balasar.
It hits.
That dragon you beat up taught me how to ride, you bitches, so don't think you're getting rid of me that easy.
11 plus 10 for 21 points of bludgeoning damage. The tail slams into you as it rotates over, just slams into your body. It is now Fleetfoot's turn. Fleetfoot will, using his action, kind of looking around, is going to place his hands on himself and cast, because he's still looking really fucking beat up.
Please tell me that he sings I Touch Myself by the Divinals while he does this.
He does.
Okay, good.
That's canon now. He will cast on himself at the second level. No, wait, he doesn't have it, does he? Shit. Okay. Okay. He's going to look at... No, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. He's going to, at the fourth level as a bonus action. Fifth level as a bonus action. Walk out. Okay, so as a bonus action, it's going to cast Mass Healing Word.
Oh, hey.
No. Mass Cure Wounds. It's a 60-foot radius. That's what he's going to do. 3d8 plus 5. That's not good. That's better. 7. 10 plus 5. Healing 15 points of damage to everyone. But 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
10?
15.
15. To everyone but Balazar, because you are 5 feet out of range.
Really?
60-foot radius.
To everybody except
Balazar.
60-foot radius, that's 120 feet.
Oh, you're right. Balazar, you're in range.
Yeah,
15.
60-foot radius is 120.
You're right. 15. 15 points of healing. And then as a bonus action, looking around and still seeing this happening, he considers for a moment the crown of stars around his head, looking at how everybody looks. Fuck. Is at the second level going to look at you, Balasar, and cast Healing Word. For 9 points of healing. And then he's going to run back behind that tree. Yep. That's the rest of his movement. That's what he's going to do. Okay. It is now the dragon's turn.
I'm giving it splinters.
You did. You gave it a big old splinter earlier. The dragon, looking around, just flaps its wings.
he's a dog toy. I'm literally just at a carnival. Just
And
riding.
Ooh, actually, does not get back his breath weapon.
And then out of nowhere, 4 gargantuan metallic dragons show up and rip it to shreds. Oh.
See, it's because I'm riding him. It's just he cannot fly anymore. He's every time the mini falls on the ground, he takes 4,000 points of damage.
Seems fair. Balasar's dead now.
Balasar is very dead.
Straight death.
Where's Boris?
Ow. I hit my
On the
fingers.
ethereal plane, where if he touches anything that is on the material plane, it dies instantly. So
He's gonna, not getting his breath weapon back, he's gonna look at you, Balasar, because you've been a fucking gnat.
Well, I'm flying around in space, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
little one.
And is gonna make his 3 attacks at you. First is the bite.
He's not so little.
That is a 33 to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
For fuck's sake, this guy doesn't sit still.
Thankfully, there wasn't enough movement to try to knock you off this time, Boris.
I'm not one to get motion sickness, but could you please stop for a bit?
For 20 points of piercing damage, plus 10 points of fire damage as the jaws clamp around your form.
Absorb elements.
All right. As a reaction, you just breathe in some of the shadowy flames exuding from his maw and just you're fun to play with.
Yeah, if you do that, you can't shield.
This is kind of how.
Oh,
He can hit Welll with that easy.
yeah, that's true.
This is kind of how I felt when Leaf was up against that dragon.
Being
that guy.
harassed.
Then
Just
two
saying,
claws.
I can't do anything. I'm gonna. Fuck.
1,
I've been there.
2.
Good luck.
That's a natural 20 for the claw attack, for the first claw attack. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for damage on this one. Oh shit. That is 26 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
$11.
11. Unfortunately, that is a failure. You take 2 points of necrotic damage, and you feel this strange seeping toxin seep into your form. Okay, we'll see what that does. All right. Next is the next claw attack as it strikes you because you're still up.
Oh my god.
That's a 6 plus 17 for 25. 23.
23.
23.
It's
Okay. For 15 points of slashing damage, and another Constitution saving throw for me, please.
18.
18. You are successful. You take 3 points of necrotic damage. The dragon now looking at you, just die. Begins flapping its wings, attempting to do some fun stuff. Next up is Tiburon.
Well, I can still see it, so I'm gonna hit it. Go for it twice with sharpshooter. I'm not
Okay.
frightened, so they're not with disadvantage
You are
anymore.
correct.
Um,
For those of you keeping count at home, that's a 4. That's my 4th natural 20 tonight.
well, I rolled a 19 plus 14. That's 35 minus 5 is 30.
30 will hit, yeah.
And then I rolled a 22.
22 just hits.
Okay, perfect. So the first one is with Colossus and Hunter's Mark.
That initial assault was crazy, guys.
That's 8. 14. 34 points of piercing damage and 4 points of cold damage.
All right, you got it.
And then
As the arrow, in Balasar, you watch this arrow streak out and slam into its wing joint, just barely moving it as it eyes trained on you.
32 points of piercing damage and 4 points of cold damage.
Okay.
The
The second arrow slams into its other side. You watch it growl menacingly, the flames licking its maw in a much more unique way.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna hide.
Okay. Can you? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check.
I have vanish.
You do. Please give me a stealth. Please be good.
25.
Okay. You're not sure if it still sees you or not. All right. At the end of your turn, it is going to once again use its wing attack. Each creature within 15 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC. Oh, within 15 feet. All right. So what I'll say, Boris, is because of your positioning, I'm going to still ask for a dexterity save, but it's going to be with advantage. I missed it last time, and it will be with advantage because you are essentially holding onto a blade that is impaled between the wings that are flapping.
A natural 20 and an 18.
So yeah, you make the save. Balasar, could you please make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
I fail.
Okay, you take Boris. You take
Oh, fuck.
You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and are not knocked prone, Boris. Balasar, you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone and fall and start your descent.
Not
Dexterity
out?
save. Not half. I just read it to make sure.
So I return to life with 1 hit point, and my wings disappear, and then I fall again and hit the ground.
So you will actually be falling between rounds, so you can still try to catch yourself or make an acrobatics check. So you don't just immediately hit the ground because it's every 6 seconds.
50 feet up, I'm not going to take any damage.
If you make an acrobatics check, you might not take a lot.
I mean, I only have 1 HP.
Yeah, you'll hit the ground and likely fall
And
prone
die.
again. Yeah, you'll take. I rolled shit on damage. You'll take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm dead. Or
Wow.
unconscious.
Yes, you are unconscious. The rest of you, Boris, not being the only person who did not witness this, watch Balasar's wings flicker, him fall unconscious, this massive flash of radiant energy, breathe back to life, and descend, falling through the sky, hitting the ground, and
So I did not see that.
you would have seen a bright flash of light. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Balasar go through this before.
Okay.
That's Boris. But you would have seen the bright flash of light, just not Balasar change, because you are behind and holding onto this gargantuan beast.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Now it's into your turn, Tyron?
Yeah.
Top of the round, or now it is now your turn, Boris, holding onto its back.
And Hazaran.
And Hazaron.
Okay. So can my bonus action be to attach my dragon harness that I am obviously still wearing because I never took it off to something on this guy so that it's easier to hang on?
So I would say if it is going to be a more like... So a bonus action would be a little bit more of a quick rig as opposed to an action which is like a full... You're using your entire turn to like try to make it proper and secure. So as long as you understand that would be the difference between the two, I'm cool with that.
What does that difference equal in mechanics? 'Cause
So mechanically speaking, if it's going to be like a quick harness, then it's more prone to being thrown loose at a little bit of an easier rate.
Okay, so what does that mean for mechanics? Like game mechanics? What is the difference between the two?
Oh, got it. So the DC would effectively be lower for him to try to detach the harness through force.
It's behind him where he can't reach anyway. I'm just trying to get it so that I can use the sword.
Okay, you're just trying to attach the harness so you can use the sword and
Yes.
still be attached?
Yeah.
I would say that you could absolutely do that. Since you are tethered to the dragon by this harness at this point on spikes and spines that are around its back, as opposed to trying to secure
Well,
like
you're
around
unconscious now, right?
more,
You haven't suffered
it has
any
the potential to. Just because it's a
throws it.
faster action to try to like, I'm going to quickly tie this knot as opposed to take extra time.
Uh-huh.
It'd just be, if he's trying to like shake you off, it would be a little bit
Just
easier for him to shake you
something
off.
to help me with my legs because this is a two-handed sword and it's
Absolutely.
going to be dwarf legs and
You could absolutely do it as a bonus action. I'm just
Okay.
giving you the full breakdown.
And then I'm going to just okay, Hazaran, let's try this. And I'm gonna hit it 3 times with Hazaran.
You got it. Go ahead and roll to hit for me, please.
There's a lot of rolling, so I'm gonna do this separate. 17 and 12, 29.
29 will hit.
Do I need to keep track of necrotic separately?
Please do.
So necrotic will be blue and purple. 11 necrotic damage,
Okay.
and then 14 slashing damage.
Okay. As the first blade strike cuts through a number of the spikes, you're just...
Second attack is 26 to hit.
that'll hit, yeah.
Again, blue and purple are necrotic. 7 necrotic, and 14 slashing.
14 slashing again.
And I have yet to
Damn.
roll any of my
Hex.
hex
You can roll.
damage.
You can roll the 3d6 at the end of it for your necrotic damage, and we'll allow that.
And then 13 and 12, 25 to hit for the third attack.
That'll hit as well.
4 necrotic damage. And then 9 and 7 is 16 slashing damage.
16 slashing damage. Yep, got it.
And then for the hex, a total of 11, 12, 13, 14.
14. Thank you very much. Math is hard, guys.
I have no idea how much I just did.
A lot. Somewhere in the neighborhood of, after all said and done, somewhere in the neighborhood of about like 60. More than 60. You're like,
Nice.
you're pretty up there.
This is fortitude into a toddy.
And I'm just beating crap out of the back of him and trying to hold on for dear life, and then that's it. That's what I got.
It is going to use his bonus action to do a quick detect. That's neat. Okay, cool. Head whipping around, taking into the sights, and that's into your turn, Boris. Balasar, at the start of your turn, I need you to please make a death saving throw and a constitution save with disadvantage.
I succeed
Okay.
and fail.
Well, with disadvantage, yeah.
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled the same thing. That's an 11.
Oh, actually, that is the DC.
Oh!
So that's not bad. Tiburon, you are the closest to where Balasar's corpse has smashed into the ground, and peeking out through around, you see these black veins that are kind of extending and streaking up his face. And as they do, you watch it pulse, and they stop their advancement on his still form on the ground.
Does it look familiar to what Atari was going
It
through?
sure does. Okay, Balasar, that is your turn. One succeeded death saving throw, so mark one success.
Okay.
Top of the round, it is Fleetfoot's turn. Fleetfoot is going to look about at what is occurring, move out once more, and use... What is he going to do? He's got to use that shit floating around his head. He's going to step out once again and at the 5th level cast Mass Cure Wounds once more to everybody in the vicinity. Right? That'll be everybody, including Boris. So that is 2d8, 3d8 plus 5. 11, 14 plus 5 is 19 points of healing to everyone. Balasar,
How much?
19.
19.
Balasar, you will receive half of the benefit of that healing, and that is going to bring you to 8. No, 9. 9, I apologize. As the energy focuses out from its form, you see Balasar, you're brought back to life, and you just feel this creeping fatigue. Because of the effects of the poison and you falling unconscious, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion. Interesting point to note. Fleetfoot is then going to look up at the dragon from behind the tree and send another one of these Crown of Stars at it. So let's roll to hit, shall we? That is 16 plus 10 for a 26, so that's going to hit, so it's 4d12 points of damage.
Are you conscious?
18 points plus
How much? 9?
32. 32 points of radiant damage as he fires another Crown of Star at this. As it slams into you, just see it. The wings are flapping. He's looking a little bit
Harried?
harried, as it were. With that, he is going to use a legendary action to again try to wing attack and try to propel himself in a spiral to get this thing on his back off of him. Boris, for this, because your arms are attached and you are still attached, it will be an athletics check, just straight roll this time as opposed to with advantage.
Natural 20.
All right. You look down, and holding Hazaron in both hands, you see him begin to spin and turn, and you hear this creaking sound of the straps from your saddle that you had been working on, and as you hear start to rip, and you reach down, holding Hazaron in one hand, and are able to maintain a grip with your legs still attached, although you are swinging quite wildly, so you are, and as it comes to land, you and are able to land and maintain a little bit of a semblance of locale as he moves in the vicinity. So half of his movement, then over here. Wants to get, yep, okay. Alrighty. It is now the dragon's turn as it kind of swings back to survey the field. Let's see if he gets his... He does. He gets his breath weapon back. He is going to, because it's a 90-foot cone and you all are going to be within that cone, he is going to use his breath weapon again. So.
He gets it back at the start of his turn and he can use it immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So, dragons, man.
I'm just making sure.
No, I understand why. Okay, so with that, I need Balasar, Fleetfoot, and Tiburon to make dexterity saving throws.
12.
I'm behind a tree and did roll a 25 for my
His
stealth check.
passive perception is 26.
Okay. That's a 17.
That is a failure. That is a failure. Fleetfoot rolls a 18 plus. What's his dexterity, Fleetfoot? What's your dexterity? Dexterity saves plus 9 for 26. So he makes the save by 2. And he is going to breathe a breath weapon. It is a different breath weapon than what you noticed before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's fun. Low rolls. Low rolls again, making up for the last time where I had a bunch of 6s. 32. For 50, so it will be 52 points of fire damage and 10 points of necrotic damage. As it, for those of you who made the save, which would be Fleetfoot, that's 26 points of damage he takes.
I'm going to use evasion. That's not considered a reaction, is it? It's just a feat.
Evasion's a feat.
It's just a feature, right?
You can only use it once.
It just says when you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex saving throw
It
to
should
take
happen
only
at all
half
times,
damage.
yeah.
Yep.
Once
Just
per turn.
Once per turn.
Okay.
You declare evasion and
So
you
how
take
much
it.
damage? I'm sorry.
So it would have been 28 points halved. Yeah, 56. 28 point half.
Of what kind of damage?
So 52 of it was for fire. The other 4 of that was necrotic.
Okay. So I'm going to use a... you said it was just 28 was the half damage?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just take all of it.
Balasar will fall unconscious again.
Yep.
Balasar, as this energy washes over your form. It is then going to try to use the remainder of its movement to move away and jostle Boris off just by moving in a tight spiral as it flies. Boris, please just make another athletics check.
12 and
DC of 18.
22.
All right, you were able to maintain a hold. But not on the board. Barry. Okay. Boris is still holding on for dear life up there.
I took 28 points of damage, so I need to roll a Constitution saving throw for at least half of that, right?
Yes.
So that's 16.
Yep. For your hex. Or for your hunter's mark. Thank you.
It fails. I rolled a 12.
Right. The hunter's mark fades. And with that, it is your turn, Tybron, as you see this entity now just kind of casually flying away.
Cool. I'm going to run over to Balasar and cast a level 3 Cure Wounds.
Alrighty.
So that is, I just had all those dice in my hand. That's an 11, 14, 17 points of healing.
17 points of healing. Balasar, you will receive half of the benefit of that, bringing you to 8. Tybron, as you reach down and place your hands on his chest and pour this healing energy into him, you watch the radiance dim visibly as it enters his form.
Did Fleetfoot have greater restoration for Atari, or was it only Dathana?
Dathana had a spell scroll.
Oh, okay, she did. All right, so then I will come back behind the tree,
Okay.
and then I will use my bonus action to hide.
Okay, you got it. Stealth check, please.
17.
17. Thank you very much. Next up is you, Boris, on its back as it's attempting to writhe and turn underneath your form.
However much
like
of
that
my
for you.
action and bonus action and movement you need me to use at this point in time to secure my place on its back.
So I would say if you use another bonus action, you can secure it. It would have
Okay.
taken
So
2
you're back
bonus
up?
actions, 1 full action.
Okay,
Are you
that's
back up?
fine. I will do that.
Yeah.
So I have my action and my movement left then?
That you do. You are secured to
Yeah.
one of. You feel reasonably secured to one of the spikes on its back, kind of interweaving it and getting the knot tied.
Azaran,
I
you
won't
tell
let
me
you
you
die.
do good things with this stuff, so kill it, and then I'm trying to hit it again.
As you swing,
Yeah.
it's,
And
you
we-
hear in your head,
melee.
"Feed me," as it slices into this form.
18 plus 12, 30. Wow.
30'll hit. Yeah, damn.
Purple and blue for necrotic again, and the orange is the hex.
I mean, he's looking hurt.
So, 12 points of necrotic,
Okay.
14 points of slashing for the first hit.
Okay, thank you. As the first strike sinks into its form, you watch it. Some of the wing bone becoming exposed.
22 to hit for the second attack.
22 just hits.
Purple, blue, and orange is another 12 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then 9 and 7 is 16 points of slashing damage.
All right, as the second slices into once more, you actually feel the form cave beneath you a bit as it's holding itself aloft.
Third and final attack. 13 and 25.
25 will hit. Damage, please.
Blue and orange is a total of 10 necrotic and 17 slashing.
10 necrotic and 17 slashing. Okay. As you slice into it once more, you see it's looking pretty rough, but you're just kind of... And in the back of your head, you hear this, yes, yes, more, Boris, more, as it's attempting to... As Hazaron chants in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Shut up and kill dragon!
Makes that safe. Okay. At the end of your...
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, you can't really do anything but kind of look... No, he's not going to do anything. Okay, next up is Balasar. You are conscious, beaten, and exhausted.
Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and tap my move and stand up.
All right.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to second wind.
You got it.
Not good. Perfect.
Those rolls, Boris. I'm forgetting on that thing's back. Holy shit.
It's a good thing I don't need to roll real high to hit him.
So I got 19 points of health back.
19 points health. Good, good.
Is that still halved?
It is. So you get 9. As you tap into your normal energy reserves, you do feel them significantly lessened, and almost as if there is a barrier placed, a sieve stopping it all from getting into your system.
Do I see Boris still up there?
You can make a quick perception check. Just to see.
To be fair, you've never seen him get down from there.
This-
19. Looking up, you see Boris just hacking away wildly with this deep, black, jagged blade that is billowing smoke as he slashes into this.
Oh wow,
enemy's
Hazaran's
form.
really doing shit? Wow.
Yeah, Hazaran is literally billowing
Had
black
no clue.
smoke.
This isn't the same red dragon that was in Daggerford, was it?
Very much a different dragon.
The one that I could have killed for if I had to hit it for 3 more hit points.
Yeah, that's the same one. You have your action, my friend.
Let's see. 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna...
Oh boy. What do you got, my man?
I don't know what to do.
Decisions are tough.
Is that... How
You
far
looking for a
am I-
range?
Yeah.
This is lightning bolt.
You could hit him with it.
Well, how far is this? Oh, this is 100 foot. Okay. I don't want to do that. That's okay. So
I'm just gonna sit here and break all these crunch bars.
Is that how
Kind
you
of stressed.
Is that how you get back at the DM? I'm gonna break your crunch bars.
So why? Why?
I'm gonna
Oh.
hold this spell With the trigger being when he comes within 60 feet.
Okay, you are holding. What spell are you holding?
Frostbite.
Frostbite. Thank you. You are holding the spell Frostbite for when the dragon moves within 60 feet of you. Seems like a plan. Okay, thank you. Into your turn. Top of the round is now Fleetfoot's turn. Fleetfoot's looking fucked up, guys, and is currently fighting the fight or flight.
Oh shit. I forgot I can do a thing. Well, next time.
Fleetfoot is going to step out from.
I can't do any of my things because I'm not using a gun.
I mean, it's not going to work because the Constitution save is shite,
I
but...
thought about my equalizer.
He's going to go up from his hidey hole, and he's going to.
Well, it automatically hits, doesn't it?
Huh?
It automatically
It's a
hits,
dex
doesn't it?
save.
It's a dex save, so yes.
For
it
half,
does,
though, right?
yeah.
He is going to walk out from his hidey hole with you, Tiberon, you, Balasar, in range, and cast Mass Cure Wounds. At the 6th level, his last 6th level slot, for 4d8 plus 5. Combat Medic.
Medic!
Okay. Come on. Okay, not bad, not bad. 25 points of healing. Balasar, you heal half. 12.
Oh, man. Creations. My creation.
Did you
Okay.
piss the DM off this week?
He is then going to.
Must have.
It's
Dude, the dice have
those claw attacks. I mean, the dice are telling a
his
really fun
dice are
story.
great, my dice suck. Like, it's the best combination.
At the 2nd level, he is going to cast Healing Word on himself just to stay the fuck alive.
Hazaran's been hitting him.
It has been. He has been making those saves. my friend.
Wounding. While you are attuned to the weapon, the creature you hit with Hazaran can't regain hit points for 1 minute.
Yep,
Okay.
that's 100% true. 7 plus 5 is 12, so he heals 12 more points.
How does the
shit con saving
dragon
throw,
look?
though.
He's looking pretty rough, but he's also looking enraged.
Okay.
Very much enraged. Okay, at this point, it is now. Fleetfoot's going to duck back behind that tree again after moving out. He's going to duck back behind the tree, healing himself once more. He's not like on death's door, and it is now the dragon's turn. At the end of Fleetfoot's turn, no, the dragon's not going to do that. The dragon's going to wait. At the start of its turn, let's see if it gets its breath weapon back.
He does. Balasar dies. He does.
He does.
Yes.
I rolled a 6. I'm going to take a picture because I don't want there to be any doubt. The dice tonight, guys, this is going to be repaid with shit rolls later on in life. Okay.
So we all have our good nights.
The dragon is going to dip down again. 30 feet. And then move 10 feet, 10 this way.
Too bad they didn't die at all in this one.
I'm straight up behind a tree, though.
It's true, you are.
Not that that obviously
Yeah.
did anything.
I'm behind a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, you were on the dragon.
I
Behind
was
him.
behind the dragon once.
Didn't turn out so good
Balasar,
for you,
Tiberon,
was
and
Not
Fleetfoot,
true.
once again, I need you guys to please make a dexterity saving throw for me.
To be fair, for the past few sessions, I have been practicing this
18.
dragon riding technique. Not
I
knowing.
cannot roll saves to save my life.
What was it?
12.
12. Those are both failures, unfortunately.
Jesus.
Keep your fingers crossed for your battle medic, guys. Rolled a 9 plus 9 for 18. Unfortunately, that is a failure for Fleetfoot. Okay, well, here we go. 26d6. Or do you want me to roll or just tell you the average?
Whatever.
If we roll, there's
All
a
good.
there's a chance we go lower. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 4, 10, 18, 21. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 31, 42, 53.
So we'll be starting the new campaign when?
Next week.
That's what I thought.
Next week.
You don't have to roll for this. You're fine.
Yeah, but one
Boris-
player does not make
War is all by himself through the rest of the campaign. He's like,
67.
fucking looking for artifacts.
He's
He's
like,
my card.
fuck, where's Atari? I'm out of here.
Yeah,
This is a new
basically.
round, right?
60.
I tell you, bring your
61.
dragon head.
So
where
that's
do we go
61
now?
points of fire damage, because I rolled like shit, and 5 points of necrotic damage for 66 total points of
And
damage.
this is a new
61.
round, correct?
Yes.
So I can evasion that?
You can
so
absolutely
66,
evade.
that's 33.
33.
And I'm going to use a second level absorb elements.
You got it.
So that's...
Fleetfoot is also going to use an absorb elements.
So 33 halved is...
Oh shit, I missed 2 fire dice. Add 7 onto that. So it's
So
66.
40 halved is 20.
Yeah.
66.
66 plus 7 is 70, 73. So 73. Fleetfoot is going to have the fuck out of that with a reaction too. Balasar once again slams to
So
the ground.
73 halved and halved again, right?
Yep. So 73 halved is, well, the necrotic damage won't be halved because you're only using it for the fire. So it would be 69 halved
do
to
anything.
30, 39
On the other tab.
Halved to 18.
halved to 18. So Fleetfoot's going to go 39 plus 4, that's 43.
It's perfect.
Jesus fuck, guys. As the energy washes over you once more, the dragon looks over its on its back, trying to locate you, Boris, and begins to wildly thrash and use the rest of its movement to fly 40 feet out. I need you to make an athletics check, please.
Fleetfoot still up?
Advantage or no?
Yes, since you have secured yourself.
And Fleetfoot is still alive?
Yes.
25.
You are able to maintain a hold, but the DC is increasing with the level of thrash.
Oh, there's 4,000 points.
Look at the thrashing.
So much thrashing. Oh my god.
Such a good movie. It's not, but it's great.
Okay.
This is a great movie, too.
Boris, it is now your turn.
Can I?
Don't I go
Do I-
after?
Oh, no, it is
Dragon?
Tyberon's turn. Yes,
Sorry.
you're correct.
No
It's
problem.
So, being really pissed that he keeps hitting him with fire, ish. I'm
And
gonna
you are standing in by proxy of a tree that's on fire. by the
correct.
way,
So I'm
just
gonna
you know.
step away from the tree, 15 feet out to the right.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast again at the 4th level, Hail of Thorns.
All right.
Getting really pissed at this fucking thing. It looks hurt, right?
It does look hurt.
I'm gonna 2 shots at it with sharpshooter.
Okay.
Nope.
What?
Oh.
So the first one was a natural 1.
Okay. That
The
one
second one
fires.
was a natural 20.
Good. Okay. So go ahead and roll the damage and double the dice, my friend.
Yes, this is gonna be so much fun.
This does have the thorns on it, right?
Yeah, so you need to roll a dexterity saving throw.
And what's your save? He rolled a 21.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
I
It's
rolled a
halved.
23.
Yeah, so you take half damage as well.
22. Sorry.
So that's 10, and that's...
So he'll take straight dice.
Well, he just takes half the d10 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll take, I guess, yeah, straight. I guess I won't double these then.
Yep.
So that's 10, 18 times 2.
36.
Cool. Damn. 14.
Math and D&D, everybody.
14 and 6 is 20. 20 plus 6 is 26 damage.
Okay.
So that was 36 plus 20,
36 plus 20 is going to be 56.
plus another 20.
So 76.
Yep.
So Boris, you take
He takes 20 damage.
20 damage. Piercing.
During that shot, I also am going to speak under my breath. As I fire the shot that hits him, protect my friends from harm. I need a DC 14 Constitution save.
It's cocked. Well, that's a natural 1 plus 16, but it's going to use his last legendary resistance to make the save. Oh, also, how do you want to end this?
Just up the butt.
Up the butt.
I
As
want it
the-
to go up the dragon rectum and out the chest.
As okay, as Thraxata attempts to fly away, Boris writhing madly with Boris on its back, holding a sword, hacking into his form. You fire an arrow, speaking the command words to Falxian. As it releases, you see the arrow cloaked in briar and thorn, fired towards the rectal cavity of the massive ancient draconic form. It slams in,
And I
bursts
want
forward,
thorns to come out
and
of
you
his
watch
chest.
extend from the chest and out the mouth, and just
Hold on, Boris!
and he begins to fall. So Boris, as he begins to fall, I am going to need a very quick acrobatics check from you, please.
Still with advantage or no?
So at this one, it would have been with disadvantage because of the shot coming out of nowhere, but because Tiburon shouted, it negates the Yes, it was a straight roll.
I'm still holding on. Like, I'm not letting go of the dragon.
So it's going to be an acrobatics check to hit and land. So
So, what, like... Because he's...
you are currently tethered to it. Yes,
Yes.
with advantage.
Okay. 24.
24. Okay, as you hit and land, you're able to not dodge the majority of the spikes, given where you've kind of hacked through, and you're able to land. You, because it was a success, you only take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the ground from 30 feet up. The dragon itself, as it continues to... You watch it begin to... Boris, you in particular, watch it begin to smolder and smoke, and the smoke begins to grow and gather around it, and you hear a voice in the back of your head, Boris, get off the dragon.
I am getting its teeth.
I don't know if these teeth are going to exist for much longer, my friend.
Don't give a shit that Tari's getting her teeth. I'm going down and getting a tooth from this dragon.
As you reach down to grab a tooth, you watch as the majority of its form begins to turn to smoke. Give me a quick strength check.
Strength?
Balasar, I need a death saving throw from you, please.
24.
24. You're able to pull 3 teeth from the dragon's mouth as its body begins to coalesce and move into shadow. And as it does, Boris, you hear, as this is all happening rather rapidly as you are progressing towards the corpse, you hear a very faint... And the form, instead of decaying into ash, you watch as the hollow husk of the dragon scales begin to... and the shadow dissipate.
Somebody gonna feed Balasar a potion before he dies?
Yes, I am immediately running up towards Balasar and dumping a potion
You
of
got it.
healing
At the
into
start of the
him.
next round. Fleetfoot walks out from behind the tree and just... Well, I'm tapped. Boris! And you kind of hear Fleetfoot over in the corner, Boris shouting, Boris! You okay?
The dragon's gone.
7 points of healing to Balasar.
Balasar, you benefit from half of that, getting 3 points of healing back. Also, at the end of your turn when you made the death saving throw, I would have needed another Constitution saving throw with disadvantage because you were unconscious. Can you beat an 11?
Yep.
Cool. You receive the full benefits of that healing as you finally shake the decaying toxin in your body. Is at this point, Balasar, you realize as you come to Tiburon, you watch the black decay kind of leave his form in the same way that it did Atari. Both of you would recognize at this point that for Atari not to be able to shake this toxin, she had to have been thoroughly beaten down from whatever she had been experiencing prior to retreating to you. The dragon itself is on the ground. Yeah.
Well, that was something.
So it's body. There's no body
that
now,
dragon.
right?
It is a husk.
So there is a body?
It is. Imagine as if the majority of its. You literally looking inside its mouth see no form of like moisture, innards, or anything. You're literally staring into a hollow husk. Of
like a
what-
like a dehydrated.
essentially.
Right, but that still would mean that there is dragon skin and dragon scales and stuff
There
like
are of whatever quality. You're not sure, but it is there.
What'd you think, folks? He won't bother you again.
You kind of hear a very strange mutter. Please take me to the body.
Of course.
You find Boris cutting various pieces off of it that look pretty enough to make into things for
Make an investigation check. Yeah.
just
I take folks up.
To the body.
13.
You're able to search through, and you are able to find some scales that are still glimmering with some semblance of the red, but oddly dark red form and some tail spikes. So I would say for you, you'd gather 5 serviceable tail spikes from an ancient red dragon, and 12 scales that are pristine, and you were able to salvage. As you approach, Fox takes a look, and as he does, you hear a slow mutter in the back of your head, as if just kind of is thinking to like a person thinking to themselves. No, he's not gone. He'll be back.
How?
He has succumbed to the Shadowfell.
But how does that tie him to this world?
It doesn't, as Mina's husk retreats to the Shadowfell upon dying here.
Is that similar to fiends in the Nine Hells?
No, this is a failsafe of a dragon who did not want to succumb to being a lich, and instead sought the benefit of another plane.
Do you think Atari would prefer necklace or what?
You hear Foxy in the back of your head. For what it's worth, I believe, if you would like to tell Boris, dragons prefer necklaces.
I think she'd like a necklace.
What? Oh, hi.
From Falks. He thinks a necklace will work just fine.
Yeah, that's okay. I could do that.
Good work.
Oh, thanks. You too. It's very, very stupid dragon.
Around you all, the forest is raging in flames.
We should probably get out of here. Where we go next, I have no clue.
Balasar walks up to you. Fleetfoot walks up to you, Balasar. Hey, dyslexia with names. And places a hand on your shoulder, kind of pats you twice.
Can anybody put forest fire out?
I can't.
Yeah. Good job.
Well,
yeah.
maybe.
Thanks. I don't think I did anything.
And
Maybe?
he dumps a.
I can make it worse.
Oh, okay.
I have wind wall.
Okay.
I don't.
I don't think we want to do that.
Strong wind keeps fog, smoke, and other
He
gases
dumps
at bay.
a 5th. No, he doesn't have any 5th level. He dumps a 4th level healing. He does. Does he have cure wounds? No, he doesn't. He dumps a 4th level healing word into you, Balasar.
So, can I try to cast wind wall to? Well, it'd be a wall of wind. It wouldn't be like a gust or a.
I don't know.
15 points of healing, Balasar.
I don't know if it would pick up the fire and
You can make an intelligence check.
make it a
Yeah,
word of
can I?
fire.
Straight?
Straight intelligence check.
What are you trying to do?
Put out the forest fire.
16.
You would know that at this point, wind feeds fire, and it
Yeah.
would take creating something to make an absence of oxygen to
Yeah.
stop a fire. So
And
you're
I
not
can
sure,
just do 15 feet high, so it
with
probably
that,
wouldn't
yeah,
do
with that
enough.
roll, you're not sure if you could manipulate the air effectively to do that.
I've got nothing to put it out of here, and we gotta get out of here.
Okie dokie.
Fleetfoot, you see him wander off because TJ made it a point to say this and goes searching for the magic carpet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He did say that, yeah. So that's all I want to do.
Fleetfoot rolled a natural 1, and you see Fleetfoot wander off in the flames looking for the carpet.
I'll go assist him.
Okay, so please make a
I mean, we
investigation
would need
check.
carpet to get the hell out. So.
Yeah,
Hey, what?
investigation.
I can't fucking find it.
I guess we gotta find that carpet. Can I help?
If you'd like to go and assist, I will allow Balasar to make another roll with advantage.
Yeah.
As Fleetfoot is just kind of staring in the space of the
We're all gonna
cloakwood
die, guys.
burning.
Oh, maybe we should head.
Can you beat a 7?
I
I
can.
made a 7.
Okay, then you are able to. It takes you the better part of 20 minutes searching through the ash and the flames as the heat begins to lick behind you. Each of you take, just by proximity, 2 points of fire damage just by proximity to the heat. As you are searching, you are eventually able to find the carpet. It is singed somewhat, although you believe it to be serviceable. Fleetfoot kind of goes, "Stow," and it appears. Okay, what would you all like to do?
We need to get out of Cloakwood, unfortunately. Fleet, can you get us back to the council?
I would say give me a survival check with advantage, Tiburon.
Glad it was with advantage. 24.
So that's a good roll. So you would know that even on the carpet traveling with no rest, it would take you the better part of 6 weeks to get back to the council.
Can you do your teleport thing?
I thought we had to scroll the way back.
Fleetfoot would look at you and say, I haven't had a dream about it.
Well, we got to get out of the Cloakwood at least.
Well, I can't find carpet?
We found it.
So what's the problem?
It's 6 weeks back to the
It's
council.
6 weeks back to the council. We have to get out of the burning Cloakwood.
So, okay.
I mean, we're just flying away, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're flying away. We just don't know.
You're gonna Do you have a general direction you'd like to fly? So with that roll, Tiburon, you would know there are a couple of locales in the vicinity of various lengths of travel.
Towards
The closest
mouth of
is
the river
Baldur's
where
Gate.
We were originally.
Yeah, the closest is Baldur's Gate, which is occupied
Yeah.
at this point by the cult. The furthest away of a place you've been is El Chirel, which is about 4 days travel, and that is when 3 days travel. I thought 4 days. I'm having to look at the map. 4 days travel, which, as you know, at this juncture, the ritual will be taking place in 3.
Right,
And-
the Thana came with us. They know we are here. They're not about to just let us sit for 6 weeks.
So at this point, I would say, as you guys are flying, as you're flying towards the mouth of the river where you had
I
come
think
from.
we gotta go closer to Greenest. That cave where I saw everybody.
And with your survival roll, you would know that that is about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Even on carpet, traveling apace.
Well, how far was El Chirel?
4 days.
El
Because you went to-
Chirel's where Leosin is from. Right?
That's where you remember meeting
The
them.
Harpers.
Teleportation circle somewhere in that city.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can head there and see, but
But
I don't think
know
they're
where I
going
wanna
to
be.
leave us if they. Or was that all we were supposed to do? Is kill dragon and then we're done?
Yeah, I don't know if Dathana's on her way back. We just...
So I'd say at this point you've been flying for a period of time, just kind of discussing your options. As you do, the sun is setting. The majority of your engagement took place in about mid-afternoon. Tiburon, you hear a very dull roar in the back of your head and just of a familiar voice of, "Are you alive? This is... You can respond to this." I have 25 words. "Tell me where you will be tonight. I will try to meet you."
So when we... Not responding yet. I'm thinking about when she came with us, where did we teleport to? Just outside the Cloakwood.
Yes.
How far was that?
So at this point, you have flown and you are now at the river Kionthar, where
Yeah.
it arcs about,
Which is where we teleported, right?
give or take.
Meet us where you brought us to come and save the Cloakwood.
Another message.
Yes, we're alive.
Another message kind of burrows in the back of your head for a moment, and you hear a voice that is a little unfamiliar to you, and it is human, male, or not human. It is male, and you hear a bit of a familiar voice of Melindrock. "Dathana is out of spells at the moment after tending to Atari, and getting here. She has received your message and will be there within 2 hours."
Thank you. We'll be waiting. What's the name again?
Thraxata.
Thraxata's been defeated, but he's retreated to the Shadowfell.
You don't get an immediate response. So, what do you want to do?
Dathana will be here in 2 hours. She'll meet us where she dropped us off when we came the first time, so let's head that way.
Cool.
Try to get some rest.
Sounds like a plan.
How are you feeling? You okay?
Like I've been beat to shit.
I'll drop my last, or another 3rd level cure wounds into you. 2, 3. Oh, nice. It's 15, 18, 21 points of healing.
21, nice.
It feels better.
That's about all I got. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I'll be
About-
better in the morning.
I'm about tapped.
Fleetfoot looks around and he says, I'm sorry I don't have the magic for the mansion.
We can rough it tonight, I guess.
Well, I guess I'll steer us down to the...
I got it.
Okay. And you just kind of see Fleetfoot, who is looking beat to shit.
Does he
Singed, and
Does he need more too?
he reaches into his pouch and...
Okay. I also
Sand
am
pressure
out of
healing.
those, so
Healing 6 points.
Boris, have I ever told you you're a badass?
I don't know.
You're a badass.
Maybe. Thanks.
Sorry I
didn't do
judged
much.
you at the start and didn't take you seriously, but you did some damage on his back there. Good work.
I didn't have much choice.
Want to go take down another one?
Right after I'm done making this necklace.
Okay, so you all... It takes you the better part of about half an hour to kind of
I'll just
turn
kind of go in
back
silence.
and nestle down in the location where you've met. For the next hour and a half, you all sit and tend to wounds. If you'd like to tinker something, Boris, in the time you can, if you want to. It'll just be a straight tinkering check, so it's a d20 roll, dexterity, and proficiency modifier.
Can I take a short rest?
If you'd like to.
Just a little necklace out of the dragon parts of somehow
For her draconic or her human form?
for her human form.
Good. Thought I would ask.
I don't have measurements for dragon necklace.
Anyone who would like to take a short rest can. I know Fleetfoot's going to.
I rolled an 18.
I'm
An
rolling the
18
wrong hit dice.
plus
For tinkering is
10
dexterity?
dex and proficiency.
That's
28 then.
28.
9 plus 3.
You make a beautifully crafted necklace of scales kind of strung together with the materials that you have at hand that you imagine would fit around her with the scale, with the
Plus 10 is 22.
scales
that's
all
25.
forming the ring of the necklace, while a piece of the tail spike that you've kind of cut and crafted and bent into the centerpiece that kind of sits as almost a teardrop at the center of this is this dark red, almost crimson looking teardrop at the center of the necklace. Looks very pretty. Quite beautiful.
Cool.
I healed 25 hit points.
If you'd like to, you can add red dragon scale necklace to your inventory.
It's
It's going to be given away.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I took a short rest and rolled 25 hit points
25.
out of 2
Got
hit
it.
dice.
The next hour and a half
Don't forget
passes
to add your con into that too.
before you hear a and you see a tired looking slumped silhouette appear about 50 yards into the darkness. Look around quickly in the vicinity, and then as the gaze looks into the distance at the fiery smoke glowing and illuminating the forest, you see a slump of defeat take the back. And
I'll do like a bird.
you see the face turn around and walk slowly to the group. You all are safe. As Dathana emerges into your vicinity, she is worn, tired. You see that the front of her normally well-kempt robes are caked in this deep, crimson, almost black at this point, liquid that has been dried and to the point where it is brittle in places. Hair is askew. She is not carrying her staff at this point, and she appears back in the vicinity, pulling out from her robes a scroll as she looks at you all. This is unfortunately the last one of these that we have. They're quite difficult to come by, so she sets it down. Let's talk, because the forces are moving. They've been moving for a day.
Sorry we couldn't save Cloakwood.
Honestly, this can be rebuilt. I think our focus, while this is disheartening, don't get me wrong, the focus at this point is on stopping a ritual that will literally release a goddess of destruction onto our plane.
We've definitely dampened their forces, though.
Melindrock mentioned to me that he'd succumbed to the shadow?
He did.
Seemed that way.
He was corrupted with darkness, with shadow. And when he was felled, his body decayed. Folks wanted to see him and examined the body and mentioned he'd returned to the Shadowfell. Something similar to some of the demons can do, devils can do with the 9 hells. It's my assumption.
Oh, it is entirely disconcerting if it is true. And she just kind of wipes her eyes for a minute, just kind of removing what you can see are the kind of dried and caked tears that have been around her eyes. She just kind of removes them. Oh, well, I'll trust him to know better than I would. At this point, I question a lot of what I thought I knew. A wizard's greatest flaw is at times succumbing to arrogance, so...
At least you're not dead.
No, I frankly am quite pleased by that turn of events, and I'm also pleased to inform each of you that Otari is making a recovery, although I'm not sure if she will be viable or available for the upcoming conflict. It will see how deep the ancient bloodline runs in her to aid in that healing. She is currently being tended to by her kin. I know that you all had great care for her. So she is currently in their charge.
Good.
Protantha took particular grievance to this outright assault and has chosen to move apace, rallying the metallic dragons, save one. Left, well, 2 really, with Otari being out of commission. And they are currently progressing in an odd sort of alliance with your friends from Skyreach Castle.
Like
Southeast.
Oathkiss.
Yes, well, they believe... I suppose it is difficult to imagine that a cloud giant coalition and a force of the remaining metallic dragons are currently progressing southeast towards the Well of Dragons. The reason I am here is while Tazmikela is tending to Otari, we have 4 main branches of our military, and she looks to you, Balasar, kind of through the weariness and nodding at your condition. They have been split at this point. The dwarves, for whom you have sworn allegiance, are progressing in conjunction with the Eldritch Knight force that remains from King Melindrock, together moving southward by way of teleportation scroll. When I say this is truly the last one we have, it is. The rest have been taken by these forces to be able to transport a coalition of that size. Skyreach Castle is moving quickly to the southeast, while those 2 forces together move directly south to attempt to intercept the large group of individuals, truly prisoners, being in a forced march to the Well. In my time away, I quickly did a bit of research, and if you would have, we could take some time this evening to discuss what I believe will be taking place at the Well.
I think we've got some time.
We can rest if you would rather, but you all look, frankly, better than I expected after tangling with a dragon of that power, so congratulations. And as if to punctuate her sentence, you each hear this deep, dissonant, but somehow subharmonic roar of the Drakhorn filling the vicinity.
Hate that fucking thing.
Well, it continues to sound more frequently, so I imagine we'll be hearing it a bit.
Where is it at? Do we know?
The Well of Dragons.
When are we going to visit Atari?
She should be joining us. If all things work out, she should be meeting us and our forces just to the northwest of the Well. It is there that it has been suggested by Protantha and, oddly enough, Blagothkis to stage their initial siege,
At the well.
or just north, about half day's travel.
Trying to pull the forces?
Well, their forces, which would be the giant kin and the metallics.
But we're trying to pull Tiamat's forces north, out of the well.
They are, specifically the chromatic dragons. They believe that the coalition and mix of, well, metallic dragons and giants, who both tend to be the nemesis of the chromatic dragons, would be enough to force them out of hiding and at least bring the largest and most dangerous of the draconic forces away from the well itself.
So a diversion.
Protantha looks at it as controlled carnage, but yes, a diversion.
So we sneak in from behind.
I believe that might work. How much do you all know of the Well of Dragons?
It's where the chromatics go to die.
That we're going there.
That is well true.
That this is where the portal to the hells where Tiamat can be unleashed.
Oh, well, not yet, thankfully. The ritual has not yet begun. It requires a mass sacrifice. So,
Sacrifice of what?
humans. Humanity.
Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate prisoners.
And other villages in the vicinity, yes.
Greenest and Elturone.
Well, yes,
Daggerford.
amongst others.
Where are those forces at?
Well, what is odd is that there is still a great deal in the field, but they've been in a forced march for some time. All we have found in terms of the scouts and the Eldritch Knights and the Dwarvish Coalition, the message I have received from Melindrak when they reached there not but half hour ago, is they have found corpses littering the ground of those who were too weak, old, or young to make the march.
We're out of time.
That is an accurate statement.
How do we stop the How do we stop the ritual?
Well, I suppose there are a few ways we could, based on my research. And she sits down kind of on a stray rock and brings out a book and begins flipping through the pages. The well itself is a caldera, a massive basin, flanked by spires of stone and rock, decayed and aged lava that was once from that volcanic pit. Boris, you've known this in your studies. Beneath it there are a number of lava tubes and flumes that have where the magma used to travel between the locales. Assuming that those still stand, and based on what we know from the Harpers and our friends at the Black Network, she nods at Fleetfoot, there are at least 4 main entrances heavily guarded. One that they have found is collapsed. If we would like to attempt to open that would allow us access. I believe that this ritual will be staged by bringing that mass of humanity into the caldera proper, within the basin itself. Inside the caldera sits this abomination of a tower, quite tall, a spire, with a variety of rooms where I assume a ritual of this magnitude would be performed. I have to tell you in full honesty, I do not know the details of this. I've never conspired to attempt to bring an entity from the Hells or any other plane. I've always traveled there myself, and I know that it expends a great deal of my own personal energy.
So, when do we leave?
Well, I imagine you all would want to rest, and I very much would like to myself. Based on our reconnaissance, they are still 2 days, or 3 days, my apologies, out from performing the ritual. Severin is currently gathering what remains of his worm speakers, and they've been retracted and their forces have been...
It's the last.
Well, they can promote others to replace. Although you've done well in removing those that you did.
They don't have the black mask. They don't have the blue mask.
They have the blue mask.
No, they don't. I have the broken bits.
Might I see it, Tiburon?
Found
she
it in the
takes
tower.
it and she casts Identify. You watch this familiar blue flare, and then she takes it and she, in one hand, holds a fire, places the fire over the mask, and it decays to ash. This looks to have been a proxy.
Fooled you.
Although it was not in vain, you did slay someone whom I hate, so for that I'm appreciative. I view it as a small win. But you are correct, they do not have the Black Dragon Mask. From our latest reconnaissance from our friends in this interim, the mask of the Dragon Queen is incomplete. Although it is still usable for the ritual, Balasar, you are holding one of its key components, so we can only imagine that the ritual will either be impacted, will take longer, or Tiamat will be weaker. We do not know. Frankly, there is a great deal of unknowns.
Could we give ourselves some more time?
Is that a gamble we're willing to take?
What about the tower?
Well, I imagine something of that size might be used as a focus, although that is a stretch.
No, the wizard's tower that we were in.
Zonthal's tower?
Yes.
If we go there, we could be there for weeks and not know it.
We could turn back time. We moved it forward.
Oh,
I
is it-
just heard song in my head because we have Barden party. Turn back time.
You're gonna try. Oh, this is a good song. It's an old one.
Yeah, but I didn't want to sing it because I'm not the bard.
Fleetwood just kind of pulls out the lute and begins strumming it ever so slightly.
So why don't we just go?
To the well?
Yes.
Well, it sounds like we should go in the morning after a little long rest.
So why don't we just rest?
We'll rest and then we'll go.
Okay.
And we'll plan for the attack.
I will keep watch for the first leg of the evening.
I'll stay up with you.
I'm already asleep.
Balasar just gonna flap on the ground, passes out asleep. Boris, we will wake you for the second watch.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And Dathana turns and kind of sits and positions herself back to the group, very clearly observing the glowing remnants of her home.
Just go sit next to her.
All right. You all take a long rest and receive the benefits of such. During this time, Tiberon, during your first watch of about 2 hours, what would you like to do?
I'll just sit in silence for a little bit with Dathana. Just kind of feeling in the comfort that Fox gives me. And I'll just hand the bow over to her.
She looks down at it for a moment, looks up at you, places one hand on the bow itself, and you feel it ripple, and you hear a very soft echo of Fox's voice before it cuts off entirely.
Like he just doesn't, he's not talking to me.
Whoa! Like you hear, you know he's conversing, but he is making it a point to
Private.
make it private.
New phone, who this?
Yeah.
I'll just sit there with her and let her.
After about 20 minutes, she removes her hand, wipes a tear from her eye, and stands and walks toward the forest.
Like she keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
She looks over her shoulder, and in your head you hear, "I'll be back." And then she disappears.
I'll just ask Fox, is she going to be okay?
Yes.
She's not going to do anything that I would do, is she?
No, she specializes in doing things that you wouldn't do.
This is true.
Give her time. She's lost a great deal.
She has. But not everything.
You're right. Although time adds to that perspective, Tiberon.
Good work today.
Oh, I could say the same to you. It's disheartening that he's, well, not entirely of this plane, but at least we can hope that we've inflicted enough pain that it prevents a return for this conflict.
So, forgive me for any nativity I might have, but can dragons just decide to become of another plane like that? I know the process of becoming a Draco Lich is a painful ritual,
Dragons of our age and of Thraxata's age have an innate sort of magic that when they find themselves on another plane, they can find themselves succumbing to the inherent magic of the plane as well. The plane desires beings like us. Draco liches are wholly unnatural, and dragons who choose this route are arrogant. It is a risky ritual, and any mage or wizard of great power would tell you the same. I have never seen a dragon choose to become of another plane. This is a magic I am unfamiliar with, and that is more worrisome than anything else.
Well, we saw the one in Waterdeep.
The Shadowfell normally takes dragons, not by choice.
Okay.
And the one you saw in Waterdeep was much younger.
Possibly born there?
Dragons, once they succumb to the Shadowfell, cannot breed.
So, that younger shadow dragon is not of Thraxata's brood.
I don't know.
That's fair.
It seems Tiamat's chromatics have been testing the limits, so to speak. Or perhaps manipulating the natural order of things. I don't know. I
Well,
prefer not to learn.
let us hope that we'll always be there to test them back.
I'd prefer it if we just snuff them out. But I might be a bit biased.
I'd like to do that too, but in a way, they think they can get the upper hand. We're always there to snuff them back.
Oh well. If I know one thing is that conflict is inevitable. But for you, sleep is. So, I believe your time for watch is coming to a close. Don't let me parent you, Tabaran. I am a dragon and you are a half-elf, but I don't want to see you die.
I don't want to die.
Well, then rest.
Go over and wake up Balasar. Was he next? Or was Boris?
Boris was
I'll
next.
go over and wake Boris.
Tyron kind of wakes you and you see the bags under his eyes. Dathan is nowhere to be seen at this hour.
You're up.
Okie dokie.
She went for a walk. She'll be back.
All right.
While you're up, I would say you were having your conversation with Fox. Give me a
Can I roll one a day?
Yeah. What do you need? 20?
20. 16?
16. After about the first hour, you hear the Drakhorn sound once more, and then about 20 minutes later, you hear a and Dathana lands at your side and just kind of, oh. Hello, Boris.
Hello.
I didn't realize I was gone that long.
We did.
Huh. Odd. I'm sorry. Huh. Okay. Well, I am going to go to bed.
Okay.
Atari knows you care for her. And she cares for you too. She likes you a lot. I normally don't invade minds normally, but I was able to pick up those sorts of surface thoughts. Sorry.
What?
No, it's none of my business. It's part of the...
Go to bed.
I will, of course. I like you, Boris. You're quite fun. And
You're a
goes-
strange elf. Just go bed.
She goes and lies down. I've heard that from literally everyone I've ever met. And then just kind of lies down and goes to sleep.
Everybody she's ever met has asked her to bed?
I
What?
love what Boris hears. Your watch outside of the Drakhorn sounding passes without incident, and you watch as the dull glow of the cloakwood kind of extends into the distance. Next, who would you like to wake for their next watch?
I thought it was Balasar, so that's where I'm going to go.
You hear Boris kind of shake you up.
He does it loudly.
I'm awake.
Perception check, please.
Why are you rolling a D100?
He wants a really high number.
11.
Oh, the dice are not with you tonight, man. You sit for a while, you are sore, you are beat, and you are tired, and that kind of occupies your thoughts as you daze in and out throughout your watch.
For that D100 I rolled, don't stay awake.
Ah, good, good. And you just kind of eyes roll back in your head before about 3 hours later, you feel the familiar hand paws of Fleetfoot kind of lie you down. All right, buddy. That was useless. And he sets you down and just sits.
You rolled a D100 to see who stayed up.
Yep.
Yep.
I got fucked up that battle.
Yeah, you did. So Fleetfoot stays for his watch.
Dude,
Okay.
That's what you did that battle. Yeah.
Cancel that.
Bowser got fucked right up. You all awake, experiencing the benefits of a long rest, restoring your spell slots and your health. Balasar, you do lose your 1 point of exhaustion, so you are no longer exhausted.
Perfect.
And as you wake up, Nathana looks around. So, shall we proceed to our staging point?
Sounds like a plan is as good as any.
All right, all together now. And she pulls out the scroll, and I need one of you to please roll a D100 for me.
73.
73. Okay. Good job, guys. You all... The landscape spins around you. You feel the familiar jerk behind your navel as you get cast through the space, and you all of a sudden find yourself landing on a hard stone ground. Looking around, you find yourself in a stone wasteland of deep sandstone rock marbled with what looks to be strange quartz-like stone. You are on a plateau. Looking to your south, you see, even at this distance, which looks to be a good day's walk away, massive spires of dried and set lava that is set in a very unique, almost semicircle approach from this perspective, kind of extending out. But even at your vantage point, it's like you're looking at a mountain range and you can just barely begin to see it curve around at an edge on either side to the east and west. Little remains of the surrounding lush territory of the Well of Dragons, and from here you can almost always hear a very low drone and sound of the Drakhorn. What is seemingly amplified in the area surrounding you, now that if you have approached closer, seems to be constantly sounding in some way, shape, or form. It is as a dull, low roar. With every step, it is filling your presence, and Balasar, for you, it is particularly uncomfortable, given your connection to Dragonkin. As you feel yourself constantly on edge, as you look around, there is no indigenous animal life. It is barren and silent, even down to the insects itself. Just in the distance to the north, as you kind of turn around to take in your perspective, you see a husk of what was a small village that is now crumpled and just absolutely blackened. Some of it decayed, some of it almost melted, parts of it still frozen, and the frostbite is currently, even now, melting in the presence of such strong draconic energy. As you progress, you see that there is a small gathering and smattering of what look to be ground forces of a variety of different humanoid races marching in the area, and as you do, you see this one on horseback kind of riding out towards you. And as it approaches, you see a human man clad in the same armor that you once saw worn by... Oh, what is his name? Hold, please. Got a lot of names.
Is it Mr. Man from Greenest?
Pretty sure everyone in Greece is dead.
It
Probably.
was once worn, the similar armor and station that you once saw worn by Uldur Ravengard, although it is not Uldur at this point. It is. He was from Baldur's Gate, a representative, the marshal of the Red Fists.
This is literally the worst place I've ever been taken on a date, Nathana.
Oh. What? Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know how to respond. Yeah. Anyway, and she looks up and
I'll agree to that statement.
she says, Trevor, come close. And you hear... And for you, Balasar, Fleetfoot, and Tybron, you see the familiar form of a young but now hardened-faced Trevor, who Uldur Ravengard sent into the tunnels, into the old Thieves Guild tunnels when you rescued your mother, Balasar, weeks ago at this point. as he rides up. Oh, it's you. Well, you're early. That's a good thing, though. We're setting up our tents now. We just arrived this morning as well. The rest of the forces of Skyreach and Protanther are currently in flight, and we expect them tomorrow. As at dawn is when they said they would arrive. They've applied some sort of strange magics from the books that you've brought back from Zonthal's tower, actually, to help propel them.
I'm sorry time wasn't wasted there. That's good.
Good.
It's good to see you all again. I think Ulder...
Yeah, I've never met him.
You weren't there when they rescued? Oh, yeah.
No.
It's good to see you two again. I'm Trevor, and he looks to you, Tybron, and I've heard of you, Boris Bronzebeard.
See, that's why I hand out my business cards.
My name's Trevor.
Do you have a card?
I don't.
No, that's for you.
Oh.
I'm Tiberon.
He reads it for a moment. It's good to meet you, Tybron. He kind of absentmindedly shakes your hand as he's reading this
I
card.
never shook his hand. I just
okay.
said I'm Tiberon.
He absentmindedly reaches out his hand for a shake as he's reading the card. Noticing it's not being taken, he takes it back.
I'll put something in his hand.
It's still out. It's out there.
What do I have? I don't know what I have. Hold on.
His hand is literally out there, just kind of awkwardly as he's reading the card. And you
Let's
see
put
him
one of those
mouthing the
little tail
words.
spikes. Well, I'll put a tail spike in his
It,
hand.
whap! It is the size of his forearm, and
There
as
you
he
go.
looks down, he goes,
I hand him a hunting trap.
okay. It's nice to meet you all. Balasar, well, all of you, I
He
suppose.
seems very easy to confuse.
I don't know who this is. He
Well,
looks rather young.
Ulder passed away on the siege of Baldur's Gate. I think he would want you to know he died in battle. For what it's worth, he liked you all a great deal.
Too many people have been killed.
You're right. I recommend don't travel too far north. You'll be able to see well, actually, at this juncture, it'd be from the southwest. You'll see a great deal of the remaining bodies of those forced to march here. It's a disgusting sight, and one that we hope to put an end to.
Right.
If you'd like, we can talk tactics, or you can get yourself settled.
Settled?
Hmm?
Settled?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
All right. Well, we've set up the main martial tent there, and you can come and visit if you'd like.
You've got a quartermaster, supplies. We could use a few things.
If you're not going to use that tail spike, can I have it back?
Yes, here.
Okay.
He eagerly hands it over. I don't know what I could use it for at this juncture. We do have a quartermaster. I can also put you in. Well, his name is. He's actually a dwarf. His name is Reginald. He should be able to assist you. Where should I send him? Not here. Or are you going to set up with this Dithana? Trevor, it's okay. They'll be fine.
So we'll set up here.
If you'd like.
Listen, son. We've killed
Oh my god, you are going to confuse him even more. He's not going to know what the
too many
shit
dragons.
about.
We're tired. We've got more to kill. Just send somebody here with
Oh.
supplies
I'll send Reginald here. Yeah.
and food.
Yeah, I think she.
If
Helen
you
would like
have
that.
any.
And she just kind of. Trevor streaks back into the main body of forces, just kind of.
Dathana, he's far too young to be in a position of power.
She looks over at him. You're right. But everyone else was younger.
Very well.
Perfect.
So what's the plan?
Well, I believe you just told him you were going to delay talking about military tactics.
Right. We just said go away and get us food.
Yeah, and we're gonna set up here. Apparently.
Yes, but what's our plan?
We're gonna set up here.
Well,
and wait
we
for
have to
someone.
set up here now because you told him to come here.
So let's
that's our
bust
plan.
out our tent.
You all get out of your supplies and begins. Fleetfoot goes, I can just. Okay.
The mansion would be great.
No, but we need people easy access find us.
Well, you can set up a tent for them to
That's-
easy access find us, and then the door of the mansion can be inside the tent.
I like that.
But
Let's
that's a
do that.
spell Fleet's got to use, and then we got to rest for him to get it back.
Right.
Well, if we're not planning on doing anything for a day, I mean, I don't know.
No, we've got at least a day and a half. It sounds like.
That mansion is air conditioned.
What? Yes.
So tent, mansion inside tent. Perfect.
Point me to the tent.
I'm working on it.
Got it. You kind of lean back and just these guys. So looks at you. All right. Well, I will take my leave for a moment, but I'll join you within the hour, and we can begin our more formal discussions.
Now
if you'd
they
like.
see where the tent is. They know how to find us. They come inside the tent. They think we sleep in the tent, but we sleeping inside there because we know where the door is, and it's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well,
It takes you about the next 30 minutes or so to finish getting everything kind of up and running. Fleetfoot goes inside, and just you hear this as the door opens. He pokes his head out of the tent. I've said it for anybody who we consider an ally. A lot of people.
I'm gonna go clean myself.
You do that. And then he snaps his fingers and prestidigitations you. He goes, I'm not doing any other cleaning, but the outside looks okay. Anybody else? Prestidigitation?
I think I can do that myself. Thank you.
You can. We've talked about this.
Yep.
Huh. You can't. Your armor looks like garbage. You want me to mend it?
Sounds great.
And you see Fleetfoot looks at you and he kind of prestidigitations
That's
and
what
mends
you
the
meant to
armor.
look like.
As it is bent, cracked, and it takes the better part of the rest of the day for him to be able to work on the armor. It's a dedicated effort, as they are cantrips he is casting repeatedly. The quartermaster appears, Reginald, and he says,
All right, gentlemen. What sort of things you need from me?
Well, what's the current plan that
He's-
you have guys going on?
you
How
know,
can we assist?
I hand him a list with the stuff to make dragon's teeth.
he looks at you.
Ah,
As much of that shit as I can get.
all right, I can get you most of that. Yeah.
You see him cold. He's wearing this chainmail coif, rather
You should
rotund,
probably
big.
ask for, like,
bushy
5 smart
mustache.
people to assist you.
Well, what do you have?
Bye.
Make more of them.
We have most supplies to sort of outfit the whole vicinity.
Things have gone better
Any
when I've
magical
had not
items,
smart people around me.
potions?
Most of the things that are
Arrows.
enchanted are held by folks who are going to be using
ones
them, you
they
know.
make big
But nothing
ones.
to the sort of degree that I hear you all are carrying. What I do have are things like arrows, bolts, enough on this fucking list, which I can get for you. That's a lot of shit, mate, but we can make it happen.
You have enchanted arrows by chance?
I'll check the supplies, but I'm not feeling too positive about it.
That's fine.
Um,
Potions?
we do have those. I'm gonna need to check with a herbalist. She's straight out of the water deep. She made it just fine. So,
Oh, they have the
What,
best herbs in
herbalist is
Waterdeep,
it?
too.
I don't know her name. Red-haired lass. Old, but not doesn't look old.
Is it the same one I talked to?
You would recognize that description, yes.
I can't remember her name.
They have the best herbs in Waterdeep. If you got the ones from the redhead, then you got the right one.
Yes, she made us quite a nice couple of items.
Yeah,
She's
she went on
known
and
up
on
and
about us
down
taking her
across, yeah.
stores with her. She was right, mad
Where's she
about
at?
it. Well, she's towards the back, helping out Ellen with the cooking.
By the way, when Helen, the name is familiar to you, Balasar.
It is. I don't remember it.
She might have been the cook who helped you grow up and was part of your home.
Oh, that Helen.
Yeah.
What? She's here?
She's apparently the cook.
I like it.
Yeah, I can. You want me to send her over?
I'll go to her.
Oh, all right. Well, you can come back with me. I'll direct you over that
Sure.
way. I'll get you a list. He looks at you, Boris. Anything else your armor looks like it's being intended to, mate. Don't know how a Dragon Ball got sort of dwarvish armor, but I'm gonna need to hear that story eventually. I've never really outfitted a tabaxi, but if you need anything, we'll make sure to bring it up. But I'm assuming you mostly need potions, and for you, arrows.
Yes.
All right. Well, the dragons took a lot. Not the dragons, Lord. So many forces. It's tough to keep track of everybody. The giants took a lot of more smelting ore to try to outfit themselves with their, armor and things of that make. It takes a lot of a big.
As protected as I probably can be.
Well, yeah,
Need to stay limber, dexterous.
Well, they swing things that are quite large, so I don't think we gave them metal. We're really going to take tree trunks, or pieces of stone wall, or the corpses of the dragons that have fallen around them. Frankly, I'm not quite sure what we're going to use, but anything in those hands are weapons.
Well, Black Oath Kiss is efficient,
Never met
resourceful.
him. They're all big fuckers. They are.
Well, if you see him, you'll know who he is.
Well, all right then. Yeah, you can come with me in summer, and I'll go back and get these all together.
Perfect. I'll be right back, boys.
All right, Will, come with me. Got your list. All right, we're off.
So, you all gather your things together, begin getting settled in. Fleetfoot kind of opens the door to the mansion. he's a weirdo, and walks inside. You all hear the cool, fragrant air from the mansion spill out within the large tent that you had set up. Tybron, you begin walking back to the large selection of military forces that are becoming more and more settled as the day progresses, and they're kind of jimmy-rigged, easily taking down bunkers and other tents and the like, kind of getting staged for their assault. Not necessarily a siege, but they're getting prepared for their assault. Tybron, as you walk into the vicinity, you notice that a lot of these folks are young. There are very few older individuals, both men and women, across races, but what you do notice is that all of those who appear to be older are of high rank and now ordering what look to be anybody from young, almost teenagers, all the way through young 20s in their ranks, trying to bring them into, and there are just looks of kind of fear and nervousness throughout those troops. Not really understanding what they had seen over the past number of weeks or what they might have heard in terms of rumors, but certainly knowing the threats that are looming and that you are facing. So as you progress into the encampment and as you all prepare yourselves inside the mansion, getting ready with what you're going to spend this new day doing, that is where we are going to end this evening session and pick up in 2 weeks.
Woohoo!
Thanks for listening to Natural 20. We meet every Tuesday night to roll dice and try to make it out alive. On behalf of the party, I hope you enjoyed this session.